Manufacturer's static and systems checkouts are complete on number 1 XV-5A. NASA Ames wind tunnel testing was accomplished just after the close of this report period. Manufacturer vibration testing and systems testing is complete on number 2 airplane, and the airplane has flown conventionally. On February 25th, the XV-5A was rolled out for inspection by U.S. Army Transportation Research Command. This airplane had completed functional operation of the lift fan propulsion systems and checks of aircraft systems. Addressing executive and engineering personnel from General Electric and Ryan, Lieutenant Colonel Johnson Trecom expressed the continuing interest of the Army in the XV-5A program. 2 days later, the airplane was ready to begin an over-the-road trip north from San Diego to Edwards Air Force Base in the Mojave Desert. The trip was made without incident, and the caravan arrived at Edwards on February 25th. The second airplane was shipped to the National Aeronautics and Space Administration's wind tunnel at the Ames Research Center, Moffett Field. This airplane made its ocean voyage up the California coast aboard the Navy's aircraft carrier Ranger. At Edwards, the flight test airplane underwent a complete systems checkout prior to beginning the next program phase, low-speed taxi tests. After installation of flight test instrumentation, the airplane executed low-speed taxi and turns, and braking action was checked. Nose fan doors were in open position for cooling during the sustained ground operations. Ground handling was excellent, even during crosswind conditions. The next test series were in the fan-powered mode. Preliminary liftoff revealed that insufficient roll control was available, and hover tests were temporarily suspended. The airplane was returned to the tie-down area for further fan-powered runs. With fans running at high-power settings, exit louver actuators did not provide enough force to maintain proper louver angle settings. Control stick, aileron, and exit louver movement coordination was analyzed. The test schedule was altered to design and procure a more powerful actuation system. On May 22nd, high-speed taxi tests were begun on Rogers Dry Lake. A nose wheel shimmy occurred at about 45 knots, leading to subsequent gear failure. Dynamic and static testing up to speeds of 120 knots showed the need for redesign of the shimmy damper. After this design fix, high-speed runs up to 96 knots were successful. Wheel operation was stable. During these tests, the emergency drag chute was deployed to evaluate emergency braking effectiveness. In several speed runs, the nose wheel lifted at 93 knots, wheel light lateral control response was good. On the morning of May 25th, the airplane was readied for its first conventional flight. Republic pilot Schaefer was at the controls. Rotation occurred at 95 knots with 30 degrees of flap. An Air Force T-37 accompanied the XV-5A. Flight altitude was 8,000 feet. Purpose of the flight was to evaluate control response and sensitivity during low-speed maneuvering flight. Speed attained was approximately 155 knots. Simulated power approach landings were performed at 5,000 feet. Control response rate was excellent. Landing was made with flaps at 45 degrees. Touchdown came at 95 knots and only light braking was necessary. Length of flight, 20 minutes. Pilot Schaefer was enthusiastic about the aircraft's handling qualities, and the ground support team was highly pleased with all aspects of the flight. Ryan test pilot Everett made the next flight on May 26th. This flight was to determine longitudinal trim requirements as a function of flap position, J85 power setting, and airspeed. Accelerations to 150 knots and decelerations to 110 knots were explored. 6 flights have brought XV-5A flight time to 4 hours and 23 minutes as of June 5. These flights established stability characteristics in the low speed range, including stall approaches. Airspeed calibrations and determination of handling qualities in the pre-conversion configuration included pitch fan doors open, wing fan exit louvers in the 45-degree position, and wing fan doors unlocked. The next step for the XV-5A is vertical flight. This U.S. Army TRICOM flight research program is nearing its goal. Flight proof of the General Electric lift fan propulsion system.